Good morning, folks. Welcome to FSC Doctor Talks episode 8, Big Food, Big Tobacco, the Addiction Blueprint. You know, every now and then when I look back at history, it strikes me that the food industry today is playing the exact same game that big tobacco played years ago. Back then, cigarette companies weren't just selling tobacco, they were selling addiction by design. They learned that if they added sugar, menthol, and a cocktail of chemicals, they could bind the nicotine harder to the brain receptors. So they weren't selling a lifestyle, they were actually engineering dependency. Fast forward to a few decades, and the food industry has taken the same blueprint from the tobacco industry, only now the product is your own food. Ultra-processed foods like the chips, the biscuits, the soft drinks, the energy bars, and the so-called healthy cereals. They're all created in food labs by scientists who understand your biology better than your own doctors. They blend sugar, refined carbohydrates, seed oils, starches, and salt in carefully tested ratios that's designed to light up your reward centers. That little dopamine surge that says, "That's good, have some more." These scientists know that it dulls your fullness signals, so you keep eating even when you're full. So they know that you'll reach for that snack again in a few hours. They know that over time your body builds the ability to get insulin resistant and then slides into that state of inflammation, weight gain, and chronic disease. Guys, this is just really careful design. It's not an accident. It's behavioral science that's being used against you, the same way that big tobacco used chemistry to make addiction more efficient. What's even worse is that it comes with shiny marketing and bright colors that says low fat, plant-based, whole grain, kill-free, and somewhere along the way in the advertisement there'll be words that says everything in moderation, as if the problem is actually yours, your willpower. But we can't talk about willpower when the food itself is engineered to hijack our brain chemistry. And behind the scenes, the companies are still funding research that tells us that a calorie is just a calorie, or breakfast cereals are essential for energy. And they shape government guidelines too. They influence public policy. When blame is handed out, it's somehow always the consumer's fault. That's the subtlety of the trap. That's the subtlety of the trap. We've been convinced that chronic diseases like diabetes, obesity, fatty liver just happens, as though they're a natural consequence of modern life. But they were designed meticulously by an industry that knows exactly how to keep you hungry, both biologically and psychologically. The first step out of that trap is actually awareness. Recognize that you're being manipulated. Understand that it's not about weakness, it's about precision. Choose real foods, foods that don't come with a marketing slogan or an ingredient list that reads like a chemistry set. Build your meals around foods such as protein, fiber, good fat, and not an advertisement logo. Because the moment you understand their playbook, you take away their power. One of the famous nutritionists, Mark Hyman, puts it perfectly. Our chronic disease crisis didn't just evolve naturally. It was actually engineered by people who understand our neurochemistry better than we do. But now it's time we caught up, because the real revolution in health isn't about pills or reclaiming. And it's time we caught up, because the real revolution in health isn't about pills or new diets. It's about reclaiming control over what we eat, how we think about food, and protect our biology. Know the science. Reclaim your biology. Get fitter, get healthier. Thank you very much for watching. Please ask questions and also give suggestions for more topics. Thank you very much.